Would you give us your name, please, and your DOC number?
My name is Carolyn Adams, 514364.
Well, thank you, Miss Adams, for that. Let me go ahead and call for the record the visitors. You have a whole community, you have a village here today. I tell you, I was very, very impressed. I'm very impressed. For the speakers, policy allows, except the attorney, policy allows 3 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer. When you hear the buzzer, that's what that means. Go ahead and start wrapping up after 3 minutes, and that's on both sides. I'm gonna begin with your supporters. We have Maxine Jones. Maxine, you're here at the headquarters, right? Okay, good. You're a speaker. Donna Diaz, here in the headquarters, a speaker. And we have Josephine Palmer, who is your student attorney. Where's Josephine? Okay, got there. Okay. Then so Miss we'll give you a chance to go on record in a minute. We have Christy Shermaine, Louisiana Parole Project. Okay, you'll be speaking. And of course, you get more time. It's Parole Project. Then we have in support today, we have Kathy Dickerson, your sister, Bobby Stewart. I'm sorry, Barry Stewart. You're so kind. Barry Stewart. Okay. We have Becky Condor with the Tulane Clinic. Okay. Brenda Washington, Renee Ham, Ashley Palsy, and Beatrice Taylor. So that's everybody here, right?
Yeah, for Sharkey chapter.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Sharkey. Miss Sharkey, why they don't write your name down? Why they don't write your name down?
Yeah, I'm sure he's here.
Okay, and then, okay, so that's the entire list. Okay, with your attorney, whoever is in the facility, would y'all identify yourselves in the facility?
My name is Josephine Palmer. I'm a student attorney.
Good morning. My name is Stanislav Moroz. I'm the supervising attorney.
Thank you. And who else is there?
If y'all introduce yourselves, just.
My name is Eric Tedder. I'm a student attorney.
My name is Coco McKay. I'm a supporter of Miss Adams.
Deacon Randy Clement. I'm a chaplain at LCIW.
Donna Diaz. I'm a volunteer at LCIW and speaking for Carolyn today.
I'm Robin James A. Alexis. I'm Carolyn's cousin.
You're a cousin?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let me explain the process, Ms. Adams. I'm going to read some information in the record. Afterwards, we're going to conduct an interview with you. Your case was assigned to me, so I'll begin the interview. And if my colleagues have questions, they will present them at that time. And then we'll hear from the ward and we'll get an update as to how you've been doing and what's been going on, what the ward think is important for us to know. And then we will listen to your speakers from your supporters, and then we'll listen to the speakers on the did I call out? I'm sorry. The in opposition today. I'm so sorry. Let me go back to this. We have Patrice Edwards, the victim's sister, who's not going to be speaking. We have Dr. Javina Dumas, the victim's sister, who will be speaking, and we have Chantel Ross, the victim's child's mother, who will be speaking. And I apologize for not going over. I just apologize. I'm so sorry. Then they will have an opportunity to speak. And once they speak, you will have the final say. You tell us what you want us to know, and then we'll hear from your attorney. Is that the way you want to make a statement before you conclude? Okay, good.
That's perfect.
Yes, sir.
Would you ask the attorney to recognize the law school?
Attorney, would you recognize the law school on the record, please? State the
yes,
law.
it's Tulane. Thank you. Yes, it's Tulane Law School with a Tulane Law Clinic Women's Prison Project.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me go ahead and read the information to the record. Carolyn A. Adams, DOC number 514364. You are a first felony offender. The current offense is second-degree murder. You were sentenced originally on 9/6 of 2006. That sentence was commuted on August the 1st of 2023. When Governor Bill Edwards signed your clemency on Again, August the 1st of 2023, when you appear before the pardon board on April the 24th of 2023. So that sounds about right, ma'am?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
And your parole eligibility day, of course, is the date that the pardon was signed. And your full term date continues at your good time of date is 7/13 of 2042. And your full term date is July the 6th of 2050. That sounds about right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good. How you feeling today, Ms. Adams?
A little nervous.
That's understandable. That is quite understandable. You've been here before. I do want to state on the record that you continue to have law enforcement opposition to your early release. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm just stating it for the record. And as I've already called out, and we'll hear from them eventually, in due process, you do have the victim's family opposition as well. I'm just stating that for the record. Tell us what you do every day now at the prison.
I am a mentor for a reentry court. I am an academic tutor for a reentry court. I do ministry rounds in the infirmary. I do ministry rounds in the lockdown facility. I am the liaison for the Catholic community. I do a film study every week, and I am a certified facilitator, and I do facilitate a grief group.
Good, good. I read that you that the grief facilitator stopped showing up and you took over the class. That really impressed me because grief is a hard issue and it needs to be addressed in prisons. And I'm just glad to see that. I was really glad to see that. I want to commend you on that. So tell us a little bit about who you were when you committed this crime.
I was a homemaker. I worked for a few years at Walmart, and I did after school care at St. Mary's Nativity.
How many children do you have?
I have one.
And what's the age of your child?
He is 47.
And what's your relationship with your son?
We have a good relationship.
So this situation, how would you call your relationship?
Good situation. Could you repeat the question?
I didn't ask it very clearly. I apologize. I'm trying to figure out when I asked you who you were during this time, you talked about the good stuff, but let's talk about the relationship with this young man. How all that came about.
I met Charles while working at Walmart, and that was 2000, between 2003 and maybe 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And we started getting close to each other, and I would often go to his home and just hang out with him. The relationship became physical and or intimate, I should say, and that's basically how I got to know him.
What was the age difference between you two?
The age difference was 18 years.
You were 18 years older than he was?
Yes, ma'am.
I read the report about the incident that you had taken the self-defense class and you were packing during that time based on what the self-defense class taught you to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Had he ever been violent to you before?
Not not to me, not physically, but just the screaming, yelling, but nothing physical.
And if you, as you think back, how much money would you say you had given him over the span of that relationship?
Ooh. I don't know exactly, but I would estimate a few $1,000s, but I really don't know exactly.
About 2,000 or 3,000, what would you just say? Like I said, you're guessing, I realize you're
I
guessing,
would say maybe around 3,000.
over a span of 3 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the day of this incident, y'all had agreed to meet, but he had one thing on his mind and you had something else on your mind. Why did you meet with him? I guess I should ask, why did you stop and meet with him?
Well, it was the 4th of July, and I had driven to his home, and we spent the day in the park, and then he was following me home when it was time to go home.
Oh, okay.
And we were in separate vehicles. And he took the lead and he turned down a dark road. When he pulled off the road, he said that he wanted to have sex. And I said no. And he got mad. And he started asking me for more money. And I said no. And he just started screaming and yelling at me. And so he made a dash for the passenger seat, opened the door, and I heard the glove box drop. And I knew that he kept the gun in his glove box. And I always kept my gun in my strap purse with me whenever I was traveling alone. And he was just screaming and yelling at me. When I heard the glove box drop, I pulled my gun and I shot him. Afterwards, I went around the truck and I took the keys because I didn't want him to follow me. And I left.
I know that was hard, Miss Adams, but I just wanted to hear what you would say today, because I just wanted to hear what you had to say today. And it is consistent with what the records reflect. So you were standing on the passenger side of the truck when he leaned toward the glove box.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you hadn't got in the truck yet, he was trying to talk you into getting in the truck.
I never got inside.
And you at that time, you were a married woman with a young child, and on a holiday you was out with him instead of with your family. That's something. That.
My husband and I were not living together.
Okay.
At that time, we were separated, and my son is in the Marines, and he was in Iraq.
Okay. Oh, okay. We appreciate his service. At this time, your son was in Iraq.
Yes, ma'am.
I know, okay. So you were, yeah, you were available during that time. I think that's all I had. We got some, tell us your, if you're successful today, what are your plans? Where would you live and how would you support yourself?
If successful today, I will go to the LPP, Louisiana Project, where if I am successful, they will help me to learn about things that have changed, help with finding employment, help with different things that I would need to fit positively in society. And I would also continue my schoolwork with Tulane University. They would have a computer for me to continue with Tulane, which I have been going since 2019. And they would help me to continue.
How much education do you have, Ms. Adams?
How much?
Yes.
I have a Bachelor's of Arts degree with NOBTS. I graduated in 2016 from NOBTS. I am in my third year at Tulane University for social science.
A social science degree?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Very good. And that's all I have, Mr. Roche. Then we hear from the ward.
Thank you. Ms. Adams, how you doing?
All right.
Okay, Ms. Adams, just take a deep breath and we're gonna have a conversation, okay?
Yes, sir.
Sit back in your chair, relax. So tell me, we saw each other in April. And tell me what you've been doing since we saw each other in April. Any programs, any activities? I know you've been at school at Tulane, but tell me what you've been doing since we saw each other in April.
Since April, I finished Victim Impact Listen and Learn class. I finished pre-release class. I finished a facilitator certification class that's held by hospice. I continue to be a mentor for reentry court, continuing being a tutor, continued everything else that I had been doing since that time. And those things were just added since that time.
You're also enrolled in school, right?
Yes, sir.
When do you sleep?
Between 9 p.m. and 4:30 a.m.
Tell us about your disciplinary record over the 18 years. How many disciplinary write-ups do you have?
Over the time period that I have been incarcerated, I have 0 write-ups.
Warden?
Yeah,
I got some questions. for her.
Okay.
Okay, Ms.
Mr.
Adams,
Freeman has some questions, I'm sorry.
where did y'all leave from? Where was he following you from?
From his home.
Okay, and why did you tell police y'all were meeting to go have sex? If y'all already at his home when y'all left?
We were not meeting to go have sex. That I recall. I don't recall that.
In your own statement, you stated that you were gonna meet him to have sex, but when you got there, you didn't feel like it because you were tired.
It's possible I could have said that. I'm just saying right now, I don't recall. I don't recall.
Well, why was his private parts out?
Because he wanted to have sex.
So he just come out and
And I said no.
I have no further questions.
And we didn't.
Thank you. Warden, what you want us to know about this young lady?
Well, y'all have already mentioned her no write-ups, which is, sort of unheard of after being with us for 17 plus years. She's with the ministry staff, and we do have her as a minimum 3 status. Usually she didn't have any jobs that had her going outside of the facility or off the secure compound, but she is a minimum. She also has a risk needs assessment score that's low. And I wanted to point out that she had 825 days of CTRP credits. So she does a lot of classes, and she still does now. And talking to the security staff, she's one of those offenders that just kind of, all the work that she does, she still flies under the radar because she's not really a problem person. She's just diligently working, usually in the ministry offices, doing her classes and her coursework. But anytime the security staff needs anything, she's the first one that'll volunteer or assist with anything. So, she's kind of kept a low profile while she's been here with us for the last 17 years.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I didn't mention the disciplinary. I was gonna wait because I knew you was gonna lay it out, Warden. So I'm just gonna wait and let you lay it out.
Right. I mean, that many years and no reports, it's unheard of.
She needs to, I always tell those guys, they need to write, those ladies or men, they need to write a book to tell others how to do that. Because they once we hear it can't be done, it can't be done, You can tell them how. So at this time, we're gonna move toward our testimonies. So again, we have 3 minutes each. Ms. Jones, on my paper, it's this order, so I'm just gonna call it Ms. Maxine Jones. You can go first. When you hear the alarm now, that means start wrapping it up.
Good morning, honorable members of the Board. My name is Maxine Jones, and I'm here to speak on behalf of my sister Carolyn Adams. And as I was thinking about what I wanted to say regarding my sister, I found my thoughts going back to our childhood where we shared so many things in common. We played in the band. Can you hear me? Yes. We played in the band, and we ate licorice candy because it lasted longer than the other candy. We read each other's books. We shared the cooking and the cleaning in the house, and we traveled quite a bit with the band. And since those childhood memories, we've grown to be adults with our own families to raise and make new memories. Over the last several years, I've seen my sister grow in wisdom and humility. During our visits, she listened to what I had to say, which usually included updates on our siblings and our other family members. We shared in conversation anything we could think of, including all the things my family wanted me to tell her in person, as opposed to them writing her a letter. She in turn spent time giving me messages to take back to them, usually encouragement to pursue excellence in every situation. Carolyn has a heart for people, as well as for the women she mentors in the reentry program. Her desire is to see them survive and thrive during incarceration. She knows that reentry is a challenging process, one that requires hard work and community or family support. She has inspired others to be and do their best. She completed educational coursework during her incarceration and continues to give and do her best. She is ready to do the work necessary for ongoing success in all her endeavors. She has the full support of our family. We will assist her in any way possible, whether it be financially, emotionally, or physically. Her reentry plan is to participate in the Louisiana Parole Project. There she will receive the guidance and assistance necessary to facilitate her reentry. We have family in Baton Rouge and the greater Baton Rouge area. Some of them are here with me today. I speak to their desire to assist and support her as well. At any point in the future, she's also welcome to stay with me in Arkansas. I have a room ready for her with the approval of her parole officer. She's kind-hearted, she's generous, she's caring, sharing, trustworthy, and a loving person. Her strength amazes me. Thank you so very much for allowing me this time to speak before you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Donna Diaz.
Hello, I'm Donna Diaz. I'm a retired registered nurse. I began volunteering at LCIW in 2008 and assisted with the grief group. The grief group was a circle process where inmates could speak about harm caused to them, harm they had caused to others, or pain and difficulties they have had in their life and in incarceration. I met Carolyn Adams on the first day I was there. She was there every Saturday. I mentored her on the process and eventually asked her to assist me. We did this work together for about 10 years. She mastered the process and could facilitate the group in my absence. I trusted her ability to lead this group. After the 2016 flood, when inmates were moved to the other locations, Carolyn spoke to the prison chaplain about the importance of continuing the grief group, even though the volunteers, like myself, were unable to enter the prison for a time. They agreed, and she led the group in my absence. This also happened in the early period of the pandemic, and she continued without me. I was amazed at how conscientious she was about every task she was given. And as the years went on, she was given more responsibilities by the prison staff. At the same time, Carolyn was determined to further her education, receiving associate and bachelor degrees that required rigorous, time-consuming assignments and exams. She was always at the top of her class. She is a great resource and mentor for many inmates, especially the new ones. She encourages them to join the grief group or other activities to help them stay away from possible bad influences. Many of them told me how helpful she was. Carolyn is soft-spoken, kind, caring, and has a deep devotion to God and to her faith. If she is able to be released, I believe she will be a valuable asset to her community, church, and society. I live near Baton Rouge, and as she will be staying at a parole facility there, I will be glad to help her find a Catholic church to attend and help her with transportation as needed. I will be very happy to be a friend, a help, and a resource to her. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
Right. Mrs. Christy Germain.
Christy
Pronounce your name for us.
Sherman.
Christy Sherman.
Good morning, honorable board members. Christy Sherman with Louisiana Project. Miss Carolyn has, we're here to support Miss Carolyn. And as she's mentioned earlier, we're gonna provide all of the services that we provided, and I know that the list can go on, but Miss Carolyn has actually done all of the work. We're just gonna be a leading and a guiding hand throughout her transition. As she's mentioned, she's currently enrolled in classes, Operation Restoration, and I have already been in contact. So there won't be any lapse of her being able to continue on. We already have the system. We're just waiting on the tablets for her to continue on so she can maintain her her 4.0. We definitely don't want her to fall back on that, but we just want the board to know that we're here and we're going to guide her. I'm her case manager throughout the process, and we have a social worker on staff who will give a mental health assessment with Miss Carolyn, and we'll be able to provide any services that she may need for any counseling and anything like that. So does anyone have any questions?
Long term.
Yes, she is considered long term. We don't like to put a time frame on that because it's all case by case basis. And so if Miss Carolyn decides, hey, I want to rebuild here in Baton Rouge, we'll make sure that we give her the best assistance. Thank you.
Well, thank you. So at this time, we are here from Dr. Josephine Palmer.
Yes. So our family is in opposition to her release. As stated before, she is not remorseful, and it is actually repulsive to watch and listen to all of you. She still believes her actions were justified, and as a result, it does not allow for healing to take place with our family. She wants forgiveness, but there cannot be closure without acknowledgement of her atrocities and how they have affected our family. You continue to lie to those people around you and to yourself, but the facts are the truth. You spent an entire day with him, then say you became fearful of him, then shot him in the head 2 times and twice in the back while he was relieving himself. That is not self-defense. Then you proceed to visit my dad's house the same day asking where he was. None of that is self-defense. And even after you were found guilty and served 18 years, due to your inability to admit and to confess to those wrongdoings, we continue to have no peace and no closure can be granted because we continue to mourn the loss of someone you selfishly took from us.
Thank you. Ms. Chantel Ross.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like us?
I don't want this lady free. I can't have her out here. I fear for my grandkids. They look like Charles. She took him. My son was 9 years old. It was the day before his birthday. 18 years, not enough. It's not enough. She needs to remain there. Remain there. I still suffer from his last phone call I received from him saying he was coming to pick up our child for his birthday, which is July the 5th. My son now is 28 years old. He's in the military. His dad ain't got the chance to see him succeed. He ain't got the chance to hold his grandkids. And I don't want this lady free. This is a bad impact on me. I still go through counseling because I'm still hearing his voice in my head. I'm coming to pick up my child for his birthday. Never happened. Never happened. She took the keys and the wallet for what? He was dead already. Why she had to take the keys and the wallet? How was he going to follow her? He's dead. He couldn't follow her. He couldn't follow her. This woman is evil. I don't want this woman free at all. I don't care about her feelings, what her family feel. My child suffered constantly. Didn't want to celebrate his birthday anymore. That's hurt for me and my family. His grandkids will never see his face, never hear his voice. That's not right. I'm sorry. That's my feeling, and I'm taking that with me, and God knows. I have no hate, but she took his life. He could have still been here for his grandkids and his kids. No, she don't deserve to be free. I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, at this time, Ms. Adams, you can make your final statement, and we'll hear from your legal representation.
I would like to thank the board today for hearing me. And every day since the incident, I have been remorseful. I am truly sorry for the anger, for the hurt, for the pain that I caused Charles's family. Sorry is a shallow word for how I really feel, but it's the only word that I have. I'm truly sorry. Truly sorry for all their pain, all their suffering, the hatred, and everything that my actions caused this family. And I want to thank you again for hearing me today. And I am truly sorry for my actions on that day.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am, we'll hear from your legal representation at this time.
Good morning. My name is Josephine Palmer, and I'm a student attorney with the Tulane Law School Women's Prison Project. I would like to begin by acknowledging the gravity of Miss Adams' crime and the pain she caused the Armont family. Miss Adams killed a man who was a father, a son, a brother, an uncle, and someone who she truly cared for as well. She knows that there is nothing she can do or say to change what she did or to take away that pain. Over the past 18 years, she has committed herself to processing the consequences of her actions, bettering her community, gaining an education, and growing into the trusted leader and mentor she is today. Miss Adams is 74 years old, has a perfect disciplinary record, and has exceeded every possible expectation in prison. This is even more true today than when she last appeared before the pardon board. I'd like to discuss who Miss Adams is today. During her time in prison, Miss Adams has been a role model and a leader, trusted and respected by all who know her, the prison administration, volunteers, and her peers. The administration chose her to be a reentry court mentor and GED tutor because they trusted her ability to guide women reentering society on the right path. Volunteers trusted Miss Adams to keep Catholic life and the grief group alive during the 2016 flood and through the COVID-19 pandemic when they couldn't access the prison. Dr. Sharkey, the DOC chaplain, described Miss Adams as, quote, the primary instrument of the Lord during those challenging times. Her peers trust her with their pain and their heartache in the grief group and look to her to lead personalized, dignified memorial services when a member of their community passes away. Last year, she organized a second-line funeral service for a New Orleans native. The women paraded and wove tissues in the woman's honor. They rely on her mentorship in the reentry program. Leroy Lynn Griffin, one of her former mentees, described Miss Adams as taking her under her wing and was, quote, like a mom to her, even though she wasn't formally assigned as her mentor. Miss Adams has also invested in her self-growth. She's worked on processing the pain she caused through programming such as the Victim Impact Program and has worked hard to pursue higher education. She was valedictorian of the New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary and is completing a bachelor's degree with Tulane University and has been offered the option to continue the program outside of prison if released. She's a straight-A student and a source of encouragement for her peers. Her professors emphasize how her calm and supportive demeanor encourages the entire cohort to succeed. If released, she has a solid re-entry plan where she'll be supported by the Parole Project, her large, loving family, and will have the benefit of savings and Social Security from working in multiple jobs prior to prison. Before Ms. Adams went to prison, she lived a life characterized by volunteer work, church, and family gatherings. When she was arrested at age 56, she had no criminal history, not even a traffic ticket. She committed a horrible crime, and she has lived with remorse for that crime every day since. Today, after many years of hard work and self-reflection, she has exceeded every possible expectation at LCIW. In conclusion, because of Ms. Adams' demonstrated rehabilitation, her perfect disciplinary record, and her age, we respectfully request that this board grants parole. Thank you again for your time and consideration.
All right, there's no further testimony. Everybody has spoken who was permitted to speak, and we're at the point where we vote.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to call for executive session.
It's been a call for executive session,
Second.
and it's been second. Roll call, please. Yes.
Alvin Roche.
Yes.
Yes.
At this time, at 10:25 a.m., we're going to go into executive session to discuss confidential matters related to this case. We are ready to vote. The case was assigned to me, so I'll be voting first. To everyone that participated this morning on both sides of this situation, we appreciate your participation. We appreciate, and we heard you. I heard you. But I have to look at who you are today and what risk do you present to public safety and your release plan. There are some things in place, there's some guardrails in place so that you would not reoffend. So for me, my vote is to grant because of your excellent prison record. You had no other criminal history. Your age, the favorable warden's comments, and your community service work in the institution. And the warden, I think you said 825 days of CTRP, I believe you said 825.
Yeah.
Ma'am?
825 days of credits.
Good, that's what I did hear it right. That's commendable. And I would like for you, and this release is conditional. You are to go to the Louisiana Parole Project and stay there for a period of time that they deem appropriate and get, proper permission before you transfer to Arkansas or however that goes. I have no problems with that. I would like you to continue with your coursework, and I'd like you to continue to engage in community service to begin 6 months after your release, to kind of get acclimated. At least 7 hours a month, and you got so many talents, so you decide what area you want to perform your community service hours in. I do like the grief counseling because there's a lot going on in grief that's not attended to. But that is my vote, and I'm only one vote. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, I do look at your age and I do look at your prison record, but I also have to look at the crime and the amount of time you served. And I don't think 18 years is enough for shooting a man 4 times. I'm sorry. So my vote today is to deny.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Roche?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Ms. Adams, you have done very well in 18 years of incarceration. You have an excellent disciplinary record, no disciplinary write-ups in 18 years of incarceration. You have excellent family support. You have an excellent transition plan with the Louisiana Project. Based on your age and based on the community service that you have rendered to that institution over a period of 18 years. You took over a program during COVID because the director of that program was unable to enter the facility, and you just took it upon yourself to operate that program during the COVID pandemic. You should be commended. Based on everything that I've just articulated, my vote is to grant your early release.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. You have two votes to grant and one vote to deny. Based on your situation, I believe that she's eligible. You are eligible for a 2/3 vote, so your parole has been granted today. Best wishes to you, Mayor. And again, I want to appreciate everyone that participated today to make this a robust process.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.